Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim and Abby and Shelley. Hi, nice to meet you, Shelley Skinner-Noel.
Thanks, nice to meet you.
You are here from Kumon.
Yes.
Now, I tell you, I did not know, I never knew what Kumon was until I was at work, and I had a co-worker whose daughter would come home from school, and she was a single mom, and she would just always talk to her daughter, you know, phone call after school, everything okay, you're in the house, blah, 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 great, okay, I'll be home in an hour, do your Kumon. Did you do your Kumon? And I'd hear this phone conversation, what is Kumon? Tell me, Shelley, what is Kumon? I know what it is, but tell me anyway.
Okay. Kumon is a math and reading program for kids. Mm-hmm. It starts at ages 3, goes all the way up to high school literature and high school calculus.
Wait a second. See, now you've already got me, because I did not know that Kumon went. I really thought it was just for elementary school.
No.
High school calculus. Mm-hmm. See, now where was Kumon when I was it's been around though, that's the other thing. How many years has Kumon been in existence?
It's started 60 years ago in Japan. It's been in Canada and the US for 30.
Okay, and 60 years ago it was started by a man whose last name was Kumon?
Yes, his name is Toro Kumon. It's actually a funny little story. Apparently his son came home with a bad mark on a math test. Mm-hmm. We figured the bad mark was 99%. So, and the mom wasn't happy, so the dad started working with him and giving him little worksheets every day to do, right, and having him correct them the next day. And then he started doing it with the neighborhood kids. Then he started building it higher, like further and further.
So it was just something that a parent developed, yes, but obviously he was a very smart parent.
Yes, and he was a teacher. Okay. He was a teacher, mm-hmm, and he was a parent. Yes, yeah, and he was very, very brilliant.
So so 30 years ago you said here in Canada?
Yes.
All right. How long have you been involved with Kumon?
I'm at 3.5 years.
Okay, great.
Today is our anniversary that we moved into our building, though.
Happy anniversary! Happy Valentine's anniversary.
Yeah.
So the new building that was on Northern Avenue, because I drive by it every day.
Yes.
You're what you would say between where?
We're across from Ashley. Ashley Furniture.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you move into an actual building? Was it because it was too nomadic, or was it too sporadic, or what? Before?
I took over 3.5 years ago. The previous owner ran it out of John Rhodes for about 14 years, and I believe she ran it out of a church before that.
Oh, I heard maybe St. Jerome's or something.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. So it was it's been in the Sioux for over 17 years. But Kumon, I had to. I have a franchise agreement, and I'm required to have a storefront.
Standalone building.
Yeah.
Okay, so Abby, the reason I asked you to join us is because
I think my older son might have been one of their first customers, because he's 31, and he did Kumon when he was probably around grade 6, 7, or 8. So, and my younger son did it for fun. He saw his older brother doing Kumon, and he wanted to do Kumon because he wanted to do everything his older brother did.
So tell me, did it make a difference in your child's life?
Yes. So our older son was less confident about math, and one of the problems of a large classroom is it's difficult for the teacher to, address individual students' needs, and he just didn't have the confidence that we felt he should have in math, and Kumon really helped. And
it's not just math; it's reading as well. And I think that's an area where I think kids feel an awful lot of shame.
Yes.
If they're not keeping up with a class.
Yep.
And nobody wants to admit. I mean, that was the whole stigma of being a bad reader, or people who were actually illiterate. We hear the stories about people who didn't get to go to school, and they try to fake it through life rather than actually saying, I need help. Yep. Right? Mm-hmm. How do we find out whether a child, due to assessments?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
So you can find out where a child's at and what they need specifically for the individual?
Yeah, so I do assessments. I have appointments during the week, so the parents and the kids come in separately outside of class time, and I do testing with them, and that determines where they start in the program. And you were saying, so they start at, we call it the just right point. And
so it's custom to the child?
Yes, it's very custom to the child. And so my job as the instructor is to plan out where they would go in the program and how they would proceed through the program.
And this is a program based on strengths. So you really want the child to feel confident. Oh, yeah. So Abby, you were saying that they're not set up to fail. They're set up to succeed.
They start off at a level that they're already guaranteed to do well at. Yeah. Whereas in a classroom, they're constantly being judged against their peers, and the bar is set by the best student in the class. So with Kumon, the bar is set with you.
Wow. Self-esteem is a big part of this program. Now, and this isn't just for people who may be struggling. This is for people who just maybe want to advance faster.
Absolutely, yes.
Or who aren't maybe challenged enough by schools.
Yes.
Is that true too?
Absolutely. So I have a grade 1 right now that's been in the program probably for, I was going to say several years, but he can't be in for several years. Okay. He's probably been in it for 2 years, okay. And he is doing double-digit multiplication.
In what grade?
He's in grade 1.
Good heavens.
Yeah, I know.
But that's great though, because otherwise that child would probably be bored in class and maybe get misdiagnosed as being ADHD or something because they're bored.
Yeah.
But now what about that? We're talking about, there's a lot of the classrooms now, I mean this is why the teachers are on the streets right now to try to fight these large class sizes, and the fact that we don't have enough teachers' assistants to help with things like kids who are on the spectrum, kids who have attention deficit disorders or hyperactivity. They struggle in the classrooms. This is an opportunity for the child to get the attention they need, right?
Yes, yeah.
And do parents mention that a lot about how the classroom is too big or too much going on? Their kid can't focus.
Oh yes, yeah, I get that a lot. And I have my background in education, and I have my special education specialist, and so the parents come to me with their IEPs and their individual education plans. So they have those extra needs from the classroom.
Oh, so you actually work in conjunction with teachers in the class. I mean, you actually can take what a teacher in a classroom gives a child and says, we recommend you need this.
Oh, the teachers often recommend Kumon because they know how it works.
Do.
Yeah.
Okay, so are there exercises? Do they come to see you? Is it a combination of both? How does it work?
So it's worksheets. If you look in my center, it's like there's a huge wall full of worksheets. Wow. There's levels. Now I'm trying to think of how many levels there are in reading and math. But there's
well, obviously if you're going from grade 3 to grade in high school, there's a lot of levels.
There's early learning levels in reading. There's about 8 early learning levels, and then it turns into the higher levels in reading, and there's probably another 13 levels of those in reading, and there's 200 pages per level.
You must be a very smart woman. I'm just thinking, because you have to assess all this stuff. You've seen all this material.
To know it. It's a big learning curve for me. After 3 years, I think I'm finally settling into know it all.
I feel like you must have the most incredible job satisfaction to see kids blossom in learning. That must be incredibly rewarding.
It is. It is so exciting to see them pass a test, or to see them read, or see them get excited about something.
Get excited about learning.
Yes.
Get excited about math.
Rather than terrified by it or intimidated by it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they come to see you at the store. But do they come in on a weekly basis as well, or how does that work for doing their lessons?
So we have classes. We have classes Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays.
At Northern Avenue.
At Northern Avenue. Okay. And they come in 2 days a week, usually. So it's Monday and Thursday, or Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay. They have 30-minute sessions. So they come in and they do their work on those days at the center.
So you have workstations for them, places to sit?
It looks like a classroom.
It does.
Sometimes that's a little bit intimidating, because if they don't like school, then they walk in and it looks like a school. Mm-hmm. I usually do a pretty good job of making them feel comfortable when they leave. We have incentives, we have stickers and prizes.
Prizes? And I love prizes.
Yes. And
maybe I should do Kumon.
Yeah, right?
They love those prizes. They absolutely love them.
So, but now they come in twice a week for the half-hour session, but they're also doing half-hour sessions at home.
It's every single day they have to do their homework.
5 days a week or 7?
7 days a week.
This is why she was on the phone saying, did you do your Kumon today?
Yes,
7 days a week. And the routine is a big part of it. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. It's important to do it every day. So if you forget to do it a day, then you're behind. So if you're not, it's practice. It's just like anything else that you practice. You practice dance, you practice instruments. You have to practice to get better at something.
So to speak to the repetition, I was telling them earlier that when my son was my younger son was in Kumon, there was one of his classmates was also in Kumon, and this kid had been in Kumon for many years and won every timed math test. I mean, this kid would just go boom, 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 just whiz through the math tests. So it definitely works.
Oh yeah.
Now, so how do you register a child? Do we call you? Do we set up an interview? How does that happen? And can people do it through their schools?
No, it's not through their schools.
So you don't go to a teacher and say, "Hi, I want my child to do Kumon." No. You don't do that.
No, you can actually schedule an appointment online. They just started that a little while ago.
That's
They got with the
handy.
time. So if you can go to my my website or my Facebook page, and you can schedule an online appointment.
Hey, look what's on there right now. Thanks, Michael. What is your website name?
It's just www.kumon.ca.
And then we can slash Sault Ste. Marie, and then we find you.
Yes.
And your Facebook page is called what?
It's facebook.ca SSM.
But is it on Facebook? What's the name of your page? Kumon?
Yes, it's Kumon SSM, I believe.
Kumon SSM on Facebook. All right. So how long would a parent then, if I'm going to schedule to come in and see you, how long is the assessment?
I asked them for an hour and a half. It doesn't probably take an hour and a half, but I have to do the testing depending if they want math and reading, how many kids there are. Sometimes parents come with more than one child, right? So that takes me a little bit longer. And then I sit down and explain the whole program to the parent, to you, explain what the levels are, how fast or far they're going to go in the levels. And it's a long-term program. So right now parents are asking me if we're open in the summer, and we are.
You are? Oh!
Yes, we're open all summer. Summer's important because there's no school, right?
Obviously. But so they need to keep up those skills. They need to keep practicing.
Yes.
As you said, you practice for dance, you practice for hockey, you
Yes.
practice for theater. So now, what age was your son when he was doing Kumon?
So my older son, I can't remember exactly, but he was around 11, 12, 13, where we just felt he didn't have the math confidence he needed. And our younger son was much younger, I'm going to say 8, and he wanted to do it.
You were talking
he thought it was fun.
You were talking about the 3-year-old that you have right now.
Yes.
You would actually do things like how to properly hold a
Your
pencil. I mean,
pencil.
it's
Yes.
as simple as those kinds of skills.
Yes. Yep.
Dexterity, writing numbers and stuff.
Yep. Writing numbers and printing their name and holding a pencil. Yep. So we have special pencils for the young ones.
Do you?
Yep. Special triangular pencils that are.
And they must
smaller.
feel so proud when they do it.
They do, right? They get excited about having the pencils and getting their.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Shelley Skinner Noel. Thanks very much for being here.
Oh, thank you.
And so if you want to reach Shelley and register your child or have your child assessed, you can find Shelley's website, kumon.ca/Sault Ste. Marie, or on her Facebook page. Abby, thanks for joining us for this section of the
It was a
interview.
pleasure. It was very interesting.
And coming up next is Fur and Feathers Friday. There's probably a little animal in that back room. Want to go see what it is?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We'll be back right after this on Mornings with Lou, Ed, and Tim and KC Security. Thanks for being our sponsor, as always. See you in a minute.